Janie Briggs is an awkward high school teen in the middle of watching her favorite show in her room. When her favorite scene comes on, she uncovers her hidden vibrator. The energetic vibrator disrupts the television signal, but she hushes it and it calms down. She takes the vibrator under the covers and begins to pleasure herself. Suddenly, her father barges into the room. She is horrified and pulls the blanket tightly around her. She frantically switches off the television while the vibrator keeps humming under the blankets. Her younger brother again barges into the room. She is shocked even more. The first thing he notices is the vibrating sound, and they think construction is going on outside. They went to look out the window. Again, their grandmother and grandfather barge into the room with the grandmother holding a wedding cake. They are here to wish her a happy birthday. The vibrator continues its energetic work inside the blankets, and she is struggling to hold back her moans. Their dog Bosco jumps on the bed and puts its nose straight between her legs. She tries to chase it off while holding her moans back, but she is almost losing it. Father Cardigan arrives from the church with the children, ready to wish her a happy birthday. The children, one by one, enter the room. Bosco is also pulling the blankets fiercely, and soon its efforts will pay off. The blankets come off, revealing an energetic vibrator that is thrown into the air and lands in the birthday cake her grandmother is holding. It then sprays everyone with its wicked contents. Everyone is shocked. There is an orientation going on at John Hughes High School. The teacher introduces new students to the school environment and quickly forms biased social groups among the newcomers. He puts the football players together, the girls whom he calls slutty on the other side, and the geeks in the middle. They will be together for the rest of their school years. Janie and her brother Mitch are being driven to school by their father in their beat-up old truck. Mitch wants her to start dating and have sex so he can be allowed to have sex too. Their truck reaches the school when the cheerleaders are practicing. The truck brutally knocks down a cheerleader, sending her flying over the car before landing on its carrier. Some idiot girl exclaimed what an amazing performance the girl put on as she was thrown over. Janie's father promises that he won't be there to pick them up later in the evening because he will be too drunk to even remember. Janie just waves him off. Jack Weiler arrives at school in a sleek red convertible in his assigned parking space. He goes down the hall admiring his pictures while catching underwear being thrown at him by his avid fans. He catches a guy's underwear and is not too happy about it. Ricky approaches Janie in her locker and confesses his love for her. He hands her a mixtape, which she throws in the pile with the others. Doug, one of Mitch's friends, is pretending to be Asian. As they go to class, they discuss how they are going to get laid this year. They meet Amanda Becker coming down the stairs, and Mitch stares at her. His friends laugh at the idea of her one day accepting Mitch's advances. Jake arrives at his locker and talks to his football friends, Austin and the gang. Catherine, his incestuous sister, comes over. She tries to seduce him by giving him way too much information about her sexual escapades. He is disgusted. Priscilla, his girlfriend, comes over and she wants to talk to him. He follows her outside and she informs him that she has broken up with him over a weird guy named Les who is there recording the moment with a camera. After classes, Priscilla and her new boyfriend are kissing, and Jake wonders why she would leave him for such a guy. He makes a bet that he can find any new girl and make her his girlfriend and prom queen in no time. Janie Briggs comes over from her art class, all covered in paint. The guys chose her. After practice, Mitch and his friends are in the locker room trying to think about what is going on in the girls' bathroom. They hear some sultry voices leaking off the air conditioner vents. They go up the vents to peek in the girls' bathroom. Mr. Keller's class is going on just down the hall in the girls' bathroom. Ricky is reciting another of his long poems declaring his love for Janie Briggs, and the whole class is bored. The boys are up in the vents trying to peek at naked girls, but the vent is at capacity and is collapsing. Down in class, someone has made fun of Mr. Keller's English class, and he is going on a rant. The whole roof suddenly comes down on the class, with the boys and a girl who was in the girls' bathroom relieving herself. The human excrement splashes all over Mr. Keller. Jake approaches Janie after class and he wants her to go out with him. However, Jake is too full of himself and she refuses. The school is preparing for the upcoming football game, and Priscilla is recruiting new cheerleaders. Jake is at practice, and he remembers the time 4 years ago when he had passed Marty, a dumb idiot, the ball in a game even after the coach had warned him not to. Marty was torn asunder by the rough players, and Jake was put on the sidelines ever since. Mitch and his friends are in detention and start discussing how they will get laid this weekend at Preston's party. The teacher comes on and threatens them with more detention time if they do not shut up. At home, Jake finds his father hanging Princeton posters on his wall. He also wants him to sleep with their mother. He goes to his sister's room to ask her advice about how he will win Janie's heart. His sister agrees to help, but, of course, with some conditions. He gains her trust by saving her brother from being bullied and then makes her feel special by singing her favorite song on the school's PA while Janie is having her art class out in the field. Unfortunately, people confuse the lyrics of the song and everyone thinks Janie has a gun on school grounds and the police are onto her. Janie visits Jake and asks him to stop pursuing her since it has brought her so much trouble. He shows up naked, thinking she would fall for him, but she is not thrilled and leaves. Meanwhile, Preston's parents are getting out of town and Preston sees them off while preparing to have a party. Jake stops by Janie's place with his sister. He wants to give her a makeover before taking her to Preston's party. Preston welcomes them to the party and encourages them to have sex in his parents' bedroom. Mitch and his friends are looking for Amanda, and she soon arrives. Everyone has to pause whatever they are doing until she begins to move again. The party goes on, and everyone is enjoying themselves. Janie has disappeared, and Jake is looking for her. Jake's sister Catherine is taking her time teaching an old student about the joys of a first kiss. Jake finds Janie drunk and jumping off the roof into the swimming pool. However, Priscilla is not happy with all the attention a new Janie is getting, and after Jake gets her out of the water, she proceeds to humiliate her. Janie runs off, crying like a little girl. Jake follows her home, and they almost share their first kiss, but neither one of them is afraid of being too forward with the other. The next day, Janie is confronted by Priscilla in the girls' bathrooms. A mature Janie just brushes her off. Jake also gets to ask her out on a date during prom, which she readily accepts, leaving Ricky hanging on the side. It is now game night, and the cheerleaders, led by Priscilla, perform an outlandish routine that they have stolen from their rival cheerleaders. Reggie is also down to his last concussion on the field, and during the game, when he is headbutted, he faints into a coma. Jake is called on by the coach to fill up for Reggie, but he is still hesitant after what happened to Marty 4 years ago. The men's school janitor shows up and begins to encourage him to believe in the ball. He goes into the game, however, and gives out a pass that goes outside the field and knocks a recuperating Reggie out. They lose the game. After the game, Janie tries to console him, but Austin barges in and ruins the fun. He pretends to whisper into Janie's ear, telling her one of Jake's secrets, but Jake himself anxiously blurts out that he was dating Janie for a bet. She leaves again, crying. It is now prom night, and Austin escorts Janie to the prom. Jake comes with his sister Catherine, but Janie and Jake are eyeing each other secretly. Mitch's crush Amber also makes an entrance, and Mitch goes with a letter of confession. Surprisingly, she decides to give him a blowjob. They go dancing on the floor, and Catherine kisses her brother in the full glare of everyone. Janie, seeing this, runs away crying. The principal comes to the stage and announces Jake as the new prom king. The conjoined sisters are the two prom queens. Jake goes back to the stage, receives the crown, and meets the two queens. However, he is still eyeing Janie. When she leaves the event, Jake rushes after her and Austin. He meets Ricky, who is also rushing to confess his love to her. They rush towards the hotel that Austin has rented. Ricky is held up in the way, and Jake rushes in alone. Jake arrives at the hotel but goes to the room and does not find Janie in it. Instead, Austin is naked with Priscilla, and her boyfriend is shooting the action with his camera on the side. Austin informs him that Janie went home. He leaves, but not before knocking the teeth out of them. He reaches Janie's place, and the father informs him that Janie has left for the airport. He rushes to the airport but finds a long line waiting, and he begs to be let through to find the love of his life. They happily let him through, urging him to go find her. He finds Janie almost boarding for Paris and, with some urging from an annoying air hostess, confesses his true feelings. Ricky arrives just in time to see them kiss and clap for them, though he is all tattered up. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to our channel. I'll be back with another interesting movie recap. Until then, take care.